nearer my God to thee, nearer to thee. Even though
Yes, what's up, people? It's Sir Drumz. It's another edition of Black Diplomatz Show. You know, I hope you had a glorious week, and I hope you have a great weekend, and, you know, energy and light to everybody. I want to say a massive respect goes out to all the female diplomats out there trying your hardest. You know, if you're one parent or you're working as a unity, I want to say respect to you, because we all came from you and we all got to show you love, and it's honor and manners. Respect to all the male diplomats out there, the hunters out there doing their job, grafting, getting that food for the family. Make sure you take time out for yourself, get some food for thought for yourself, so you can spread knowledge among your kids and your wife. Respect to all the young diplomats, the younger generation, yeah, because you are the future, and if we don't put all that energy and all that knowledge into you, you're gonna stray. So we got to try and keep you lot focused right now. So I just want to say love, respect and honor. Right today though, folks, I've got a special person with me right now. This is one of my co-hosts. He goes by the name of Dan, real diplomat. How are you today, sir?
No, I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. It's a good thing, like, to be here, and it's a good thing to discuss these subjects that are not ordinarily discussed about. You know what I mean? Or they are, but we need to put a positive spin on it.
Definitely,
and be positive about and thankful for where we are, because we're not thankful enough about the situations we're in. We're like one of the more blessed people in this world, if we really think about it. If you live in the Western world, you're one of the more blessed and fortunate and privileged people.
Yes, my brother.
So we have to just say thanks, you know, to whoever you believe in, whatever religion you are.
That's right, my brother.
You know?
All right, Dan. As it's your first show now,
yeah,
you're coming in
fresh.
Yeah, fresh out the packet, yeah?
Fresh out the oven.
How did you feel as a diplomat, knowing that you're going to step up to the Knights of the Round Tables, diplomats? How did you feel knowing that you're going to come in as a member of the team, and you're going to be able to enlighten and push out that positive energy?
Well, the way I see it, I'm always on a learning curve. Yeah, I always have to humble myself, because at the end of the day, we're all learning. It don't matter if you're 0 to 100, you're always learning. And
that's right.
I see everything as a learning experience and something that I can get out of it. If I can't get anything out of it, then I'm probably not going to be involved in it. But I know that how you do your thing is, you know, I've got big respect for you, and that's a positive thing, you know. So, no, I'm just happy to be here and happy to learn, man.
Excellent, Dan. Okay, Dan, let's start the ball rolling, yeah? So today, diplomats, the discussion that we're going to talk about today, we're going to discuss a few subjects, but the first topic we're going to talk about today is being black in the UK.
Yeah.
Like, Dan, you've grown up here, I've grown up here, you know, our parents have struggled. You know, we don't really know no one that's a millionaire, or a couple families that's millionaire, well off and live good life and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we all went through a struggle, so we know what it feels like for the hard times, yeah?
Yeah.
So what would you say on black people in the UK? Not just financial, I'm talking about spiritually and mentally. Would you say that we're growing in spirit? Would you say we're growing mentally? Or would you say that the hard times is getting too much for us? And if so, how do we lift and change that?
What you got to remember, right, is we come from people who, our parents came over here, so they were like first generation, right?
Yeah.
So they're the first generation, and they are trying to suss things out, right? Because their parents have traditions from Africa and the West Indies and what have you, right?
Exactly.
So their parents are just trying to come over here for a better life.
Yes.
Now they're the first fully generation, as I like to say, yeah? The first ones fully integrated into this English life. You're born here, you're raised into the traditions, you have black friends, you have white friends, you have all this sort of thing. Now, they struggled a lot because they had to deal with more racism, they had to deal with less opportunities, they had to deal with no internet. They couldn't just pop a show like how we're doing now. Of
course.
You know, technology is amazing, like the way it works now. And so we're born after them, and we're born not into that, but as we grow up, technology starts progressing and stuff starts progressing, and now we're getting all these opportunities that no generation before us ever had.
Cool.
And it's nothing to do with race, it's just how the world is now, right? Mm-hmm. So we're very lucky. So as black people, we're looking at things in a sense of, as black people, we're comparing ourselves a lot, and we're looking at what each other has and doesn't have, you know?
Yeah, very true, very true. And you know what I would say is this, yeah? The system is built up not for us as black diplomats,
no.
It's built up for another set of people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? So what we really need to do is we need to go back to our roots and see, because you see, that's where a lot of the problem comes in, is that we've forgotten about our roots. We think that our roots is not important because the system and the way things are designed is that you forget your culture, you forget your traditions. And what we really need to be doing is focusing on our traditions and imposing them into this system that we're working in now.
Yeah.
That's why Asian people and Chinese people, they're grounded, because they never forget their traditions.
But I think as well, the reason I'm talking about our parents and our parents' parents is because we're the ones that are now fully integrated into the system.
That's right.
And all right, we can take journeys back, but if we go back to our quote unquote, like our homelands, our motherlands, we're foreigners over there.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with the fact that if we want to stay here, we have to build here and be positive over here, and we can't be like saying stuff like this is not made for us, because we have to deal with it. Do you see what I mean? We have to deal with that situation, and if we want to stay here, we have to build here and build on what we're going to do here and try and make money, because there's so much opportunities out here. But we sometimes look at the negative things, and this show is about building positivity and how we're going to be positive and how we're going to be upstanding members of the community, and not put the blame on too many things like we do, like we did in the past.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it was this person's fault, that person's fault, but no one is really stopping you from being who you want to be, and that's the way I feel.
Okay, so saying that done now, yeah? So why is it that why do you think then that we don't have a lot of black diplomat families that are millionaires and billionaires in this country? Because something is obviously going wrong. So what we got to try and discuss now is how do we get ourselves up? Because we can see that we've been here, we've adapted to the system, we've adapted to their culture, we've adapted to their way of life, but it's still not working out for us as diplomats. And that is the reason why I think that is because we've forgotten who we are, we've forgotten ourselves, we've forgotten our culture, our traditions, from where we come from. And you know, if you forget your tradition and your culture, you've really kind of forgot yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to pretend to be something that you're not.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wouldn't mind if you, Dan, as a diplomat, tried to pretend like you was Sir Drumz, because that would cater to my ego and make me feel a bit great about myself, that you're not being yourself, you're trying to be me.
Yeah.
So you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, you know, I think that we've been trying to emulate something that is not us.
Yeah.
And what we need to do is find us. If I can look at you and say, Dan, you're a strong, positive black diplomat, you know, you're a great person, you're innovating, you're elevating, you know, you're just an all-round star. Those things lift you up.
No, that's it.
But if I can't tell you that, because I feel some sort of way about myself where I think I'm better than you, then how are we going to work together as a team?
Well, I think a lot of it is to do with examples, right?
Exactly.
So we know everybody, it doesn't matter what colour you are, but everybody is obsessed with, you know, celebrity culture, and it's about what you see and what is exposed to you.
That's right.
So, like on television, what is exposed to you, in the media, what is exposed to you, advertising, what is exposed to you. Now, can we actually say that there are solid examples of positive role models in what is exposed to us? What do you think? Because
we can say that, but just not with us as black diplomats.
No, that's
because I watch television a lot. Yeah, I watch television a lot. Well, not a lot, but I watch it a little.
Enough,
right?
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about actual
television,
TV, ITV, BBC, all those ones, yeah. And when you look at it, yeah, the only time they really show black people in wealth are like footballers or some celebrity.
Yeah.
They're not showing the normal man Dan, the diplomat, from down the road. They're not showing you as nothing special.
Well, this is what I say. So, the way to improve is to normalize things that are normal, right? So, think about it. To be a Premiership football and to be the best footballer ever, we just had the World Cup final and that, it's such a low percentage of those people that make it, right? But if you look at them, a lot of the athletes, like in the French team, they live the same situation as us, right? A lot of those athletes are black.
Salute to those French footballers.
Yeah,
as well.
salute to all of them, man.
My brothers.
Salute to all of them. But when you look at them, a lot of them are black. That is their hustle. That's the way that they see to get out of the situations that they're in. Yeah. And that's the one way that they see that they can make it, right? Yeah. And it's a typical story in all these Western societies that we see. The one way that we can make it is to like kick balls, to entertain, etc., etc. When in reality, your chances of being a doctor are far more likely than to be a Premier League footballer, a World Cup winning footballer. You know, it's so few people that are World Cup winning footballers. We need to focus on the basic things, right?
Exactly.
The standard things. There's no shame in being a plumber. Plumber make peas. You see what I'm saying? There's no shame in being a doctor. Obviously not, there's no shame in being a doctor, but it is possible. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I think people don't believe it's possible because they're like, nah, that's long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But actually it's not long.
Yep, done. That's 100. So on TV, you know, the adverts we see are not really positive of black diplomats. They're not really positive at all. You know, unless you see a celebrity, which is a football player or someone basketball player or some big celebrity from America. They're not really showing us in the light that we want to be showed in.
And the thing is about that, the likelihood of that happening to you. Like, I'm not saying, oh, you can't make it as a football. You can, yeah? You can make it as a basketball player. But the likelihood of that happening to you is low. Very low. But no one can stop you from learning about how to be whatever you want to be in terms of a doctor or a plumber. Like a lot of those celebrity sort of things, like if you want to be a musician or you want to be a singer, whatever, a lot of it is based on other people's opinions.
Of course.
Yeah, of you. And there's always that way, you know, a lot of controversies coming out about how people are blocking people and people are saying, you know, if you do this X, Y, and Z, then you'll get here. You know, you always have to do favours for people and put yourself in precarious situations, you know. You don't have to do that if you're trying to get a normal job and to establish yourself in a normal world. And the thing is, we're so attracted to the celebrity, superstardom. Like, we want to stunt on each other, yeah? We want to be like, I made it out and I'm a big superstar. Yeah. Well, you can be a big superstar and have a normal job, you know? We're so focused on the fantasy side of it that I think we need to get back to basics and be on a normal side, like just see things normally. Yeah. Because I think we see things in a crazy manner, almost to say like, to cure the things that I went through as a younger person, I need to be superstar, or otherwise there's no worth to my life. Yeah. And I think a lot of the young kids are like that. Yeah. And I think we just need to normalize being okay with being normal and okay with having a normal job.
Yeah, very true, Dan. Very true words. And what Brother Dan says is exactly right. You don't have to be that celebrity guy. You can be a doctor. And we don't have to be the usual things that black people are in this country. Exactly. Like you said, Dan, earlier when we was discussing with Dan, when you look around at black businesses in UK, what are they, Dan?
Well, you know what they are, man. They're barbershops. You got the West Indian takeaways. I'm done. And
he's right.
I'm not being cold, yeah?
And he's right.
That is the thing. That is what we see a lot.
And he's right. So why can't we move on to other fields in business? Why does it have to just be those two things?
And the thing is, when you're talking about, you know, even an off license, right? Again, it's not glamorous, yeah? But it's very rare I see black people in off licenses. That's right. And starting up their own businesses. But those are the basics. Those are the essentials, right? Those are things that people need every day or every other day. You need to pop into an off license or something. That's right. To get what you need, right?
That's right.
And we need to be more in touch with the down to earth sides of, you know, making money and supporting our communities.
That's right.
And so the whole point of what I was making as well is that putting money back into ourselves, reinvesting back into ourselves. Exactly. And I think a lot of people would like to, right? But in a way, besides like what we've mentioned before, the hairdressers or the barbers or the takeaways, it's like, where is the avenue to reinvest into ourselves? Where is that avenue? And so what we're focusing on in the Black Diplomats is brainstorming those ideas to say, who are those people? Because they're about, but maybe they just don't want to make themselves known. Who are those black doctors? Who are those black chiropractors? Who are those, black plumbers? All those sort of people are about, yeah? But it's like, you don't know who they are. You don't know where they are. Where are they at?
That's right.
And so that is the important thing, to find out, to create a network of those people and reinvest into them, And you might think, well, why should I reinvest into someone in terms of colour? But at the end of the day, every other people are doing that.
Exactly.
Every other people are reinvesting into themselves in terms of backgrounds, religions, and all of that, while we invest into everybody else.
That's right. And then we cry when the Asian man's got too much of this, and the Chinese man's got too much of that, and the white man's running the system. Well, we should be running our own system. We can make a system for ourselves. We can invest in ourselves, yeah, and we can build as a nation and as a unity. But we don't want to do that, because what we want to do is we want to get things individually, and we think we're individuals, yeah, and we want to stunt on each other and wonder why, when you make it and become financially up there, why people are hating on you and why people don't like you.
And we need to dead this individual mindset, because there's only so far that someone can get on their own, yeah? Even if you're quite an independent person, there's always somebody that helped you get on the road that you're on.
Exactly.
And there's literally, you didn't create that clean water out of those taps. Someone did that for you. You see what I mean? There's always someone that is helping you on your way. And this, being part of this Black Diplomats thing, it needs to be interactive. We need to help each other, and we need to come up with ideas on what is the way forward, instead of complaining about the past. You can't complain about the past. You have to look forward now.
Exactly.
And this is 2018, right? We're in July 2018, and we want this to be like the start of something big in terms of creating a network where people can talk to people, and not on a selfish one, not with any motives, just interacting. You might listen to this on YouTube and then put a comment in to say, I know a plumber that is black and is doing his thing, I know someone else that is black and they're doing their thing, a lecturer that is black and they're doing their thing. Just suggest things, and that's all it's about, is being interactive and suggesting things and making us understand that actually we are about achieving things, but they will never show that. They will never put that on the screen to say, right, there's this person doing this, or there's this person doing that, because they want you to keep that mindset where your only way out is to kick a ball, And as much as I love football, that's not the only way out. That should not be the only way out, So your only way out is not, dancing or rapping, as is very common. And again, I love rap. Don't get me wrong, but it's just let's look at the other avenues. Let's look at the more ordinary avenues on how to make it in this thing, because again, we are privileged here, and we are diplomats, as they say, and we have to behave as such. You know what I mean?
Exactly, Brother Dan. And what Brother Dan said is right. We have to look into ourselves, yeah, and see ourselves as a people. A lot of us, we make individual decisions, yeah, when we should be making generational. I look at certain people at work, yeah, and I see them making generational moves. It's not just for it wasn't just for that person, it was for that whole nation, that whole race. So when you make a move, yeah, it's going for everybody. But we don't do that. We think, well, I'm up there, I don't business about this brother from Africa, this brother from Liberia, this brother from wherever, and it's nonsense. We just need to think as unified people.
And can I say something about where I work, right? I work in a place, what I call it very incestuous, right? Yeah. So that means, right, a guy will buck a girl in work and they'll get married, right? And then what do? They get no, listen, but what do? They get a job for their friends.
That's right.
And then what do? Their kids get a job there. That's right. And I had a guy that like was responsible for employing me. He was retiring, and he's like 40 years in the game, in the industry, right?
Yeah.
So he was retiring, and his son works for the company, right? Mm-hmm. His son works for the company, and another one of his sons works for the company, right? So that is generationally, they're putting each other on.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? As a family, they're putting each other on, and it might not be their family business, but in a way that they've turned that into their family thing. So that son knew that he never had to struggle for a job. So when he was of age, he knew that his dad would put him on.
That's right.
Do you see what I mean?
Right.
And that's what it's all about, is just putting each other on. For me, yeah, some people look at that and say, oh, well, that's a setup, because what if other people apply for the job, etc., etc.? Well, that's just how it is.
How people get jobs nowadays is not really what you know, it's who you know.
It's who you know.
So you could be overqualified or well qualified, and the guy who's been working in that job for 10 years, he told his brother to go for the job, and his brother don't know nothing, and his brother gets the job.
But what I'm trying to say is for me, that is networking. That is creating a network, even if it's inside of your family and it's so-called nepotism, right? I still feel that. Wouldn't you do it for your son?
Of course.
Wouldn't you do it for your brother?
Of course.
You know, I would do it for my friend.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I can't hate on that. Yeah.
That's right.
The guy, like I said, he was partially responsible for employing me. He didn't hate on me. He gave me the job because he thought I was the right person for the job, right? But if I was up against his son would have probably got it.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes, most definitely.
But what it is that what I'm trying to say is I got inside there and I got to see how they were running it.
That's right.
But it doesn't mean they blocked me off because I'm there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I saw how they were running it, and I saw they got their people in. Then they started employing other people outside of that. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
For real, Brother Dan. Brother Dan's here kicking some real bars on us. Really. Like, yeah. Big up, Brother Dan. All right. Let's move on to a next subject now.
So, next topic, let's talk about traveling.
Excellent.
Yeah, because we both have been places, right?
Definitely.
And there's places, I can't even lie, right? I've been to and I felt, like you said, proper comfortable. Like, I could chill here. Like, this is me. Yeah. And then there's other places I'm like, this is sketchy as hell. Like, what the hell is this? But the thing is, even inside of the UK, like different cities, yeah, we went to, and it's been like, okay, cool. This is all right. Cool. These people, I can mess with these people. Cool. And then even some other places are sketch. Cool. So, what is it? Let's talk about like traveling while black. Like,
all right. Let's talk about traveling while black. Brother Dan's said it. So, as a black person, you know, you get your passport, you find out where you want to go. Sometimes it could be a big holiday, sometimes it could be a small one, it could be a Europe one. Now, my experiences on Europe now is that a lot of places that I've been to, Dan, yeah, in Europe, a lot of people have said to me, don't go there, bruv. They're not feeling you, it's racist, don't go there, they don't like the black diplomats. And I've been like, you know what, let me still go, bro, because my heart's telling me to go. And I go down there, and, you know, you get a couple of funny looks and a couple of people looking at you saying, that kind of look like what you're doing here, you don't belong here. But you keep it moving. And 95% of the time, I've had a great time. I've had a great time, yeah, and it was comfortable with me. And sometimes I even go back there. And it's cool.
Yeah.
You know? But for those people, those diplomats in the UK right now that want to travel globally, don't let no one put you off your course. Go, if your mind and your heart's telling you to go and experience that. Because if you don't, you're going to be living in a bubble. You're going to be living in a box. So I would always say, go out there and get that experience. And like Dan says, diplomats are supposed to go everywhere in the world. And that doesn't mean, because I said earlier on that home base or base is Africa, that you shouldn't go to other parts. You should go anywhere you want to go and travel and go and explore. Because that's what... You know, that's how you open your mind, by exploring. Do you want to touch on that, Dan?
Yeah, I just think, yeah, anywhere we go, we put sauce on it, man.
Exactly.
Anywhere we go, we put light on it. You know what I mean? And so, when you're traveling and you really think that you're not going to be liked in a certain place because you're the only one of your kind in that place, yeah, you're mistaken. You're fully mistaken. You should go and try everywhere. Because there's a chance that there will be someone that looks like you there. Already there, living there. And you just didn't know about them. Because again, we're talking about the networks that there is no network created. So everybody gets shook and always wants to go to the typical places where they think they're going to be safe. But actually you can go near enough anywhere.
Cool.
You know what I mean? You can go near enough anywhere. And traveling is an exciting thing, and it should always be encouraged, you know, to see different cultures and see how they live as well. So no, I would agree with that, man. I would agree with that. But again,
no fear.
No fear. But again as well, a lot of us go to places of people that don't look like us, but we need to travel to places of people that do look like us as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because it's mad, like, for example, right, Croatia. Croatia went through war in the 90s, right?
Yep.
They went through a big war. It used to be formerly Yugoslavia, and then Croatia got, it got broken up into like 6 countries, and then Croatia got established. Now, if you look at it today and the festivals that are popping off, yeah, my boy just went to Croatia, yeah, and it's just a black out there. It's just pure black man there.
I went there. Fresh island.
Exactly, and it's coming like Napa, like the new Napa.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that is a good thing and that is a positive thing, but also, why can't we have our own one in Africa?
Exactly.
Why don't all the UK people, black people, go over and create a festival in Africa that we can be proud of, that all of us go over to? Because you see everyone from the ends, and they're all in Croatia, they're all in Napa, they're all in, spending their black money with people that they may mess with them, they may have a good time, but what I'm saying is not reinvesting it in black people.
Yeah.
So I think that is a big thing. Yes, travel different places with people that don't look like you as well, but I'm saying we need to have one where it's us as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, brother Dan's right on that. We need to invest in ourselves. And the main people, some of the main reasons why people don't want to invest in themselves, because they watch too much television and they're watching these adverts.
Of the myths.
We're watching these adverts, yeah. And then, you're seeing these people with flies around them and hearing about Ebola, this and that. And then we want to run far away as possible, because you're saying, I'm in UK, I'm safe here. Like, I feel like I'm actually protected. But you're not really protected, you know what I'm saying to you? You can go anywhere you want to go, yeah? And you can feel as safe as you want to feel. When you go to Africa, you go there, you see that other guy sitting down there, and he's asking you, what are you doing there? I left you in Blackpool. You're supposed to be down there. So, you know what I'm saying to you? So what we need to do is, like Brother Dan says, we need to go on holidays all over the world, globally, but we need to go to our ones as well and spend our money and start building up our place. And also, as well, let's touch it quickly, Dan.
Yeah.
The brothers and the sisters, the diplomats in Africa, all over Africa, because Africa's a big, so all over Africa, we are there for you, and you should be there for us. When we come there and we spend our money, and we come down there and we want to spend time with you lot as brothers and sisters, you got to treat us like how you treat the other people. Don't think that when you see us, you think, oh, we're made of money and you can skank us. Because there's a lot of people. No. There's a lot of brothers and sisters. There's a lot of diplomats over there that want to skank people and think that they can take the piss out of people. Diplomats. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. You can't have the diplomat mentality if you're gonna move like that.
Yeah.
So you got to look at me as I'm your brother. Yeah, I might not live there or whatever, but when I come over there, treat me like royalty, and I'll treat you like royalty. I will help you out with some funds. Let's try and do some business together. I don't want that skanking mentality, because you're not supposed to bring in that funny mentality to me. I'm going through the same thing as you. I'm just I'm somewhere else.
Well, it's crazy, because the places I've travelled, I've really enjoyed. And like in particular, I went to a place in Thailand, and it was like a mixed martial arts place, right? So you could do kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, whatever, right? And I was looking at it like, why is there not like a black version of that? I know like martial arts, that's their tradition, but there's black traditions, there's black martial arts, there's everything we need over there, but no one wants to establish it. No one wants to put their head on the chopping block and risk it, right?
Individual mindset.
And that's the individual mindset. So we need to have a group mindset and a legacy mindset.
One goal
and a generational mindset. And no, I think it's been a positive conversation today.
Excellent, Dan.
Yeah, man, it's been good. Been good to have a chat about these things, and it's rare that we really do, or we keep it inside too much, Yeah. And this is only the beginning. Just keep tuned for more and more stuff that we're going to do, and more positive podcasts.
Yes, and I want to say congratulations to you, Brother Dan, real diplomat. Thank you for coming on the show today, and you'll be hearing much more of Brother Dan. If you like the way he's kicking that knowledge, make sure when this goes up on YouTube, you make your comments, you subscribe, and you just keep in contact. And remember, diplomats, do remember, if you listen to our show and you want to talk about your positive blackness or whatever experience you've got, or even history or just your life, get in contact with us and come on the show. We're willing to sit down and listen to you. Our vibe is positive. We do talk about a bit of rocky, but we keep it positive. You can always find us.
And the main thing is we got to look forward now.
That's
yeah?
right.
We got to look forward. It's 2018. 2020 sounds so futuristic, but it's 2 years away, man.
That's right.
We got to look forward now.
That's right.
And that's all I want to do, man. But yeah, thanks for having me, man. And shout out everyone, man. Big.
Anybody you want to shout out real quick?
Everyone, man. Everyone can get it, man. All good.
All right. So you heard it there, Black Diplomats. Brother Dan and Sir Drumz, we're out, and we want to say love to everybody. Just keep it positive, yeah? And just Black Diplomats forever.
Yeah, man.
Peace out.
Later.
Love. We're out.